Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Daytona E-Prix. Your broadcaster today is obviously the FE1 live streaming, and your commentators today are myself, Leo, and Joshi, a very good co-commentator and commentator. Now we go to the starting grid. Dennis lines up on pole position, followed by Alex Tong after getting beaten out by Dennis in the final knockout stages. Never Heated takes P3 on that grid, followed by Nick finalising out that top four. Now moving on to the rest of the grid. So now moving on to the third row. Aviation Chad had a rocky qualifying. There was a bit of controversy about the qualifying yesterday, but that's all sorted. So Aviation does start in P5, followed by Aratakoi in P6. Quite an interesting qualifying from them two. Sort of Super Striker lines up in P7, and Formula Racing lines up in P8 on that fourth row of the grid. Now moving into the final top two of the top 10. Super Olin is there, and Kinos is in P10. And then I don't know how you pronounce his name, EYXZE, lines up in P11, followed by Benny Bunny in P12. That finalises out the grid for today. Anyone else it will be lining up and starting on the back of the grid positions, anyone that did not qualify.
Back as they can go, because the pit's 5 miles away from the grid.
Yep. What are your predictions today, Joshi?
Well, I mean, look at the quali yesterday. I think someone that could be like challenging is Aviation Chad. We saw he had some pace and got unfortunate with the how everything went down yesterday, but that's over with now. So I hope Aviation can do well. I want him to do well. He's a good driver, and he has the pace. So I want him to show it.
Yeah, agreed. I think Aviation definitely has the pace going into this race, and also so do I think Alex Tong has the pace, but pressure can get to Alex Tong sometimes, and I think Alex Tong could will definitely be on the podium, hopefully, for this race, and potentially go for that race win. Same with Aviation. Chad will be looking to get that podium here, and possibly race win, depending on his start. Obviously, attack mode will come into play. Attack mode will be quite effective on this race, obviously starting just before that long straight area, and attack mode lasts for 2 minutes, and drivers required to get it 2 times, and also the pit window today is lap 6 from 10, decided by the new FIA that have come in for this race. As we see Joshi's character reset, now we'll go to the grid cameras, where we see the drivers lined up. So once again, that is Dennis in the P1 position, followed by Alex Tong here in the race, and it's 1 minute to lights out here at Kyoto. Fucking hell! Sorry, Daytona.
Family friendly.
Joshi's had more experience at Daytona than me, but he said before, obviously in qualifying, that this race never disappoints, and from the stuff I've seen, the race shouldn't disappoint for this race. It's quite a packed out grid here as well. So
I've got an issue.
Which is?
I need to try and get down to the pits.
Yeah, you can't do that. There's no admin.
Okay. Oh well, be fine. Let's go on board with Alex Tong. I want to watch Alex Tong.
Yep.
Starting in Peter. The sexy Spaniard.
Yeah, so Dennis, he's starting right back. He's angled his car actually a little bit, as we can see. He's angled his car slightly to the left to get into that outside line, going into the first turn. Well, the first turn after the race start. Obviously, turn 1 is 4 turns back here, because the race starts just a few corners ahead, because they would start on the banking otherwise, which is awkward for these cars. He's tilted his car slightly to the left to get that better line, whereas if you're on the outside here, you'll be looking to get just to go straight, but we have seen most of the cars tilt their cars slightly to the left to get that better line. Now I believe it is race time, and we'll go on board with not yet.
Formation lap.
Oh yeah, formation lap. Sorry, I didn't know. Do we do formation laps?
Yeah, we are doing a formation lap. It's just so basically This is just so like when everyone goes through Wes timing system. I think like it stops people from being like a lap behind or a lap ahead.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So now they are going on their formation lap. Apologies for the reset. I just want to make sure I have everyone for my viewing for you guys. Yeah, and now I do. This is probably one of the most active races we've seen, and someone spins on the. Many people are spinning on the formation lap.
Alex Tong.
Now they're all getting CCs, and as far as I'm aware, there's not admin. So if they do get a CC here. No,
I can. We'll try and get a screenshot. I'll get a video like just before.
Yeah. So now they do come onto their formation lap here in the Daytona E-Prix. So Alex is a little bit far behind from Dennis, but he's slowly catching up now with faster speed around that banking. This is the moment where drivers prepare for the race. Obviously, going into this race, this is where really it determines the outcome. You get this one lap to make sure, memorize the track, memorize your braking points, warm up your tyres for the race. Once again, the pit window is lap 6 to 10, so it's midway through that race. Obviously, midway through the race is lap 8. Lap 8 or 9 is the midway through the race. It's a 17 lap race here. Ignore the leaderboard on the left right now. Obviously that is incorrect. We wait for it to be reset. But everyone is slowly now coming around and will line up on that grid. Alright, okay, now as we see everyone line up on the grid. Dennis comes in and lines up on that grid we follow. Let's try and see the people in the back finalise that grid position. So that I believe there is 2 people at the back that haven't. There's also I believe Epic Lexus still coming through after a spin on the formation lap.
By the way, Alex, your driver pitted. Sorry. I think I just had a bit of a cold.
So we now await for them red lights. I think Epic Lexer is just going around now to line up on the grid. He's a little bit behind, but he's now coming around.
So I press it. Are we doing a stop or?
What are you doing? Wait.
Actually, it might be Nick. I'm gonna let them do it, but we need to get perms. Are you ready?
Yeah, so we watch Alex Tong coming into that final corner. Once again, he's put his car slightly to the left to get that better line into these turns.
Oh, well, Genic did a lap.
Right, so timings now have been reset, and laps are reset, but I don't believe corner cuts can be reset. Just a little bit of a... Whoa. Who's just gone past?
Is it Genic?
Yeah.
Genic! Jesus Christ. Thing is, we don't have control, so we can't do anything. Just start, Dennis.
Dennis just start. FIA orders. He'll be disqualified from the race probably. Is that a DSQ, Joshy?
Yeah, it will be a DSQ.
Yep, okay. And that's 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go at the Daytona E-Prix. Alex Tong gets a little shaky off the line, but now comes into that first turn. Now they come around that first turn off the grid start. It's not the first turn of this track, and Nick gets a little bit slidey out of there. Now going on board with Nick, and he comes out of that turn. Currently P4, I believe. Never Heated made up a few positions off that start. P2, followed by Alex Tong, followed by Nick. So top 4 is roughly the same, but Dennis will be looking to expand his lead as quick as possible into for lap 1, and Never Heated goes a little bit wide. They're so close, all the drivers currently just staying with each other through here, and like we said, attack mode into turn 7, that is critical for this race. That is especially where you'll be gaining a lot of time. Attack mode is very, very critical for this race. You get 2 minutes, and lap times around here are roughly 2 minutes, so by the time you make it back round to turn 7, you will very much indeed have attack mode run out. So you get about 1 lap of attack mode around here, and attack mode is critical on them big straights here in Daytona. But Dennis is leading out of that final turn now. Dennis has got quite a comfortable lead actually, just off that start there. Joshy, I believe.
I'm just doing something real quick. Just carry on commentating.
Okay. And now Dennis.
I'm FIAing.
Dennis is coming around. Please ignore Dejanic on that leaderboard. He is disqualified from the race and will not be counted. Now he comes through into that turn 1. It is an Envision leading. Envision 1-2 currently coming out of that final turn. It's getting a bit slidey for Nick out to that turn. Dennis still with a comfortable lead coming out there. Now we go on board with Alex Tong. Well, I don't have Alex Tong. Alex Tong is there. Did someone spin? Someone spun. I believe that might have been Ollie Gamer Pro there, but Ollie Gamer Pro was quite far down, but I still someone spin out that turn. Alex Tong now fighting with his teammate Aviation Chad. Still, Aviation Chad is V4. That is absolutely incredible for the driver of the what team is that again?
What team?
Aviation's and Alex's Porsche.
Oh, Porsche and L.
Porsche NL now coming out of that final turn at Aviation Chad, and Alex Tong now looking to gain them positions on that Envision, the 2 Envision drivers. So it is currently Envision versus Porsche NL for the lead of this race. And now coming around that bank turn, and the Porsche actually takes a low line, not following the line on that not following the banking now, as Nick does, and Alex Tong will want to break late into here, get that moved on to Nick, as he slightly does, and now getting a bit slidey throughout that S section. Gets a bit slidey on the exit of the S section, coming through, and he's just right behind Nick as we cross the line now. Dennis takes the lead, followed by Nick, followed by Alex Tong, followed by Aviation Chad, followed by Formula Racing, Erraticoy, Chase, Ollie Game Pro, Super Striker, and Epic Lexa is your top 10. So it's once again Super Striker showing absolute dominant pace from the FE2, because obviously he's an FE2 driver, stepped into FE1. He literally had a sprint race about 30 minutes ago around this track, so he's got a bit more of a warm-up than the other drivers, but obviously different cars. And now Alex Tong still on the rear of Nick coming round that turn, and that is a driver just sat in the turn.
What?
There's a driver just sat in the turn.
Which driver?
I don't know who it is. Never Heated also dropped back quite a few places. I think he must have spun or something must have happened to him. So that is critical for the driver. And now coming through here, he does. And Never Heated also will be looking to take attack mode in the next few laps as well. That is quite a shocking start from the Mercedes driver.
Oh, it was Jenick.
Ah.
What a shame. Anyway. I mean, at the moment, it seems pretty chill. The two Envisions leading at the front at the moment. You got Xenis and Nick, followed by Alex in Aviation.
Actually, Alex Tong might be going for the move here in the S section. He is right on the tail, but he does not get the move done. Sorry, Josh, for interrupting. Continue.
Oh, I'm disappointed now. It does seem to be a bit... I mean, we'll see when attack mode and pit stops come into play, because obviously it is going to be a lot different. You know, if you're pitting earlier, you want to get the undercut. If you're pitting later, you want to get the overcut on the drivers ahead. But honestly, I don't know. Anything realistically could happen in this race. Like I said, you know, this race can produce anything. Xenis leading. Has Xenis won a race this season? I think he's won like one.
I believe he has won one race this season.
It is a surprise to see the other Envision leading for once in a while, as they'll come around this long right-hander. That's the car that's been sat there for ages. Anyway, so at the moment the Envisions do seem to be climbing quite a bit away from the Porsche's back, so whether they're going to take attack mode a bit earlier than expected or just try and save it, but pit opens in 2 laps time, so we'll make sure that people pit, I think.
Optimal attack mode points will be, they'll probably go for attack mode 1 lap before their pit stop, probably, because that will gain them speed and some gap to get that pit stop going through. Wink wink, Alex Tong, Aviation Chad, if you're listening. Hopefully you are, because that's a massive wink wink to you guys. But it's Envision versus Porsche right now, coming through this banked turn, and Envision are just looking rapid once again. It is crazy and unbelievable how fast these Envision drivers are, and as it stands, both of them have got the contract signed for next season with Envision once again. Now coming around here. Timing's updated. Alex Tong is now 1.6 seconds behind the challenger in P2 and almost 3 seconds off of Xenis. Nick is slowly catching on Xenis, and maybe he want to get the move done on Xenis himself, or will he just let Xenis cruise away with the win currently and casually go through these turns just behind him, follow him through? Probably not, since Nick is also leading the championship, but
at the moment, is that Aviation just up Alex Tong's rear? Maybe Aviation can make a move on Alex Tong coming into the final bit. There's no slipstream like the Daytona they used to be, so no move there made by Aviation, and honestly it stays the same. So close behind, I think there's Chase Elliott and Formula Race. Wait, no, Chase Elliott and Super Striker. I want to see that. Where's Chase Elliott?
Now going on board with Chase Elliott then, coming through, and Super Striker subbing in once again and showing his dominant pace in FE1. Would you argue FE1 suits the driver of FE2 and reserve more than the FE2 cars?
I don't know. I mean, they are obviously they are completely cars. They're completely different cars, so you know, they might be more favourable to him, but I'm not too sure. He's obviously in P7 at the moment. He isn't actually too slow, 5 seconds off, so decent points finish here from Super Striker would suit the team very well. I don't see why he couldn't have decent pace, potentially get into P5. P1 to 4 seems to be fixed for as long as none of them make a mistake, as Nick goes ahead. And is that McKenna?
Was that Super? Or is it Epic Lexer? I believe that is Epic Lexer. So Epic Lexer has DSQ'd. Not DSQ'd, he has not finished. DNF'd. That is the word. Thank you very much, Joshi. Now the Envision drivers are going side by side, and Nick's going to be looking to confirm that lead of the race. And but Dennis is not letting him out of his sights through these turns, and he's still trying to get that battle. Will he go for attack mode around this turn? No, he does not go for attack mode. Now, so normally we see Nick pit the first lap he possibly can. So will Nick come into the pits nice and early, or will he stay out? I think he'll probably, from the last few races, he has pitted first lap round. So potentially we could see the first driver come into the pits here and the lead of the race as well, coming down this back straight. Now there's many back straights actually. Now after this turn, he has the tight hairpin where he decides where he pits. That's his reminder. The pit window is lap 6 to 10, so he has 4 laps to decide when he's pitting. I thought it was 17 laps, but maybe it's not.
Don't know. Wait, yeah, it's 16.
Actually, no, it is 17. It's 16 and a half technically. Now coming to the S section, do we see one of the Envision drivers come into the pits after this S section here? Does Nick come into the pits? No, he does not actually. Neither driver does. And do we see anyone come into the pits? Oh, we do see someone come into the pits, and I think that's Never Heated. Yep, Never Heated has now come into the pits. Now coming into that pit stop. 2 seconds, Josh, you're going to have to take over.
I'm going to have to take over. Alright, okay. So, wait, who's coming to the pits? Okay, I'm not sure who's coming to the pits. But we can see, well, I don't know what you can see, but I can see Alex Tong at the moment. He's going to come on the main straight, a bit behind his teammate Aviation. Should be able to catch up. Both got very good experience. So do the drivers ahead of him, of Xennis and Xennis and Nick. So Nick is leading 7/10 from Xennis. Quite a good race here by Xennis. Both the drivers are Nick 7/10. Xennis in P2. I'm not sure where he finished last race. It might have been. To be fair, it might have also been P2. So you can't really hold the Envision drivers back. They are very, very talented and both deserve a place in the team that they're in, and also in a place in just the top spots of this league. So at the moment, as I've said, we have Nick in P1, 7/10. We'll have a look at the sector times. Nick improving in sector 2. He set a 1 second faster lap time than Alex Tong last lap. So, does he have? Where is he? Nick. I need to check orbit. So at the moment, no. So no one's taken attack mode yet, but they are going to have to pit soon, and we'll see if Nick does pit this lap. As he comes around through this S section here, kind of like Megas and Beckett's, but the opposite side. Oh, Nick spun! That is terrible for Nick. So Nick's gone a bit too aggressive into that corner there. Now he's spun. I wonder if he is going to pit this lap because his tyres are dying a bit. He is going to come to the pit, so that is Nick pitting now. He's going to refresh his tyres. He's going to get better. He's going to have, I think, more energy. But now that's Xennis leading after Nick has made a mistake coming out of the S section. So yeah, he's pitted there. You know, he's got the bad tyres. He does not want to be on them tyres for much longer, especially after that mistake. He might gain a bit of confidence by pitting. So very good from him there. As we see now, we have Scorner. I think there's some drivers behind. So obviously, like I said, I think Never Heated's pitted now as well. See where Never Heated has pitted. He's going to cross the line. He's coming in. Oh, did he? Okay, I think he did. So obviously, Never Heated pitting, and there's a driver just coming out of the pits right now. Might be Ethan, if it looks. I'm not 100% sure. At the moment, so I want to see Xennis, Alex Tong, and Aviation because we don't know when they're going to pit. But I won't be surprised if it's soon. Xennis seeing his teammate spin out like that, you know, he's got an extra lap, he's got the overcut, he'll have better tyres towards the end of the race. Where's Xennis? Xennis is there. So Xennis at the moment is coming across the bank, and we'll see if he pits. We've got a few drivers on the back straight. As he come around the final banking. This is, you know, if you mess up here, you kind of get a bit of oversteer when coming onto the final banking. I need to see you. I don't know who's spectating. Okay, so Xennis is now coming into the pits. Is Alex Tong also? Alex Tong is also going to go. So Alex Tong, Aviation, and Alex Tong, Aviation, and Xennis all come into the pits. Oh, you're back. So basically, since you've been gone, Nick had a bit of a stumble coming into the SS section. He spun a bit, and then the 3 drivers behind him got past him, but then he pitted after that lap. And now we've got the other top 2 drivers coming in, and they're all pitting.
So now we do see Nick coming out that S section. We'll be able to gain the time back possibly, and but it will be very unlikely as now the drivers come out of the pits. Coming down the pits now, and obviously that will now come off. That pit limit will now come off, coming out, and Nick now coming out turn 1. Yeah, now coming into turn 1, and he comes out just with Alex Tong here, coming down into here. So side by side for Alex Tong and Nick as they come out the pits, and that's quite impressive from Nick if you spun. I'm not too sure how big of a spin it was back there, but now Nick is gone.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like a massive spin. He lost the rear a bit, and then he could just drive forward straight away. He just had to turn a bit more. He just lost momentum. So he actually lost position to Alex, but whether Alex has lost time with the tyre wear and he's going to gain that back, I don't know.
It is a very interesting strategy from the two Porsche drivers as well. Maybe they were just pitting at the same time, but also at the same time it could have been just following in Dennis to stay with him. Alex Tong is still staying with Nick slightly, just on the rear of him now, coming out of that turn. Just followed in from the driver, so we see that Dennis is quite up ahead now, I believe, and so is Aviation. Aviation is currently sitting P2 if you do not include the pits, but obviously overcuts could work into play of the other top 3 drivers right now. Benny Banny's having a wonderful race compared to his last few races here as well, if I might add. He's
Benny Banny.
Benny Banny is now leading the E-Prix.
Holy shit, Benny Banny's leading.
This is a wonderful sight. So 7 seconds, so he will unfortunately lose the position when he comes into pits at the end of this lap. If he does not, he will be disqualified from the EP or given a penalty. If he does not come in at the end of this lap. But currently, as it stands, probably from when Benny Banny pits, it will be ex-Dennis, Aviation, Chad, Nick and Alex Tong leading for you. And that's a wonderful race for Aviation Chad so far on lap 10. Spectacular positions gained from him. Obviously, he started, I believe, P6 on the grid, so that's 4 positions gained into the top 2, which is wonderful for him. And obviously, he really wants that race win this season, and he's just so close to it all the way through, but he is 4 seconds off, so unless he gains 7 tenths roughly every single lap, he won't get that position. And I think he relies on an ex-Dennis struggle spin moment from the driver to get that P1 position, and yeah.
How far behind's Nick? Or I think is Benny? No, he's not. He needs to pit at the end of the slap.
Yeah.
You just said that though. Benny Bunny, like you said, running a very good race. Although I don't know how much time he's going to lose, because for Nick, he lost like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
Now
we see
pit.
Benny Banny come into the pit. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Dennis will come out and take the lead of the race now coming around this turn.
It's unfortunate for us or Benny?
Well, it's unfortunate for him.
What for Dennis?
No, for Benny.
It's unfortunate that Dennis took the lead.
Yes. Well, no, it's unfortunate for Benny Banny because he lost the lead by pitting.
Yeah, pendejo. Anyway.
That moves him down to P11. Jesus Christ.
Told you there's a fat pit stop. P12!
P12. And now he's finally come out of them pits in P12. And now Keen is also going to be fighting him as they come out them pits. He was P10 before he come into the pits, I believe. So maybe staying out was the wrong decision, and he lost quite a few seconds maybe staying out. But Superstrike also having a wonderful race, by the way. P5, the FE2 driver, filling in and never heated. He was also on the rear of him, obviously never heated, had a slight issue on lap 2, putting him down to P11. He pit nice and early, so this has worked out for him quite well actually. And the Jaguar driver also a Formula Racing coming through here. But Superstriker won't be one to lose, as Formula Racing is now on the rear of Never Heated and coming through that final turn, and he's got a bare exit speed, and I believe he might just be ahead. Yeah, he is just slightly ahead right now. And they now come into another banked turn, so there's three bank turns on this track, and this is the second one of the lot. Now coming around into the final S section, into the final few turns of this track. If you count the now coming into the penultimate turn, Formula Racing is currently just side by side with him, and we'll see who's ahead when we come to the line. And obviously that car is still there, unfortunately, and Ollie Game Pro is also catching up to the pack. This is starting to become quite a pack here. So 2 seconds that separate the less than 2 seconds that separate the 4 drivers, and once again we see just Never Heated slowing down a little bit more and more. Don't know, maybe the pitting early was the wrong. Also, a little update: Super Striker set purple middle sector last lap.
Wait, what? Is that because of attack mode? Oh no, it's not. Did attack mode even work?
I don't know, if I'm honest. That's Nick's job. Maybe if attack mode doesn't work, then that's Super Striker's showing absolute pace in these FE1 cars, and now I'd love to see Ratiax jump into these FE1 cars and show his pace. As Aviation Chad has lost time now to him. Do you reckon Nick can catch up? In fact, Nick has caught up as we go on board with Aviation. Nick is side by side with the driver right now, and Aviation Chad won't want to let that go. So 4 laps remain, and hopefully Aviation Chad continues. Hopefully Aviation continues to run in P2, and Nick, he doesn't lose out to Nick in these final few stages of this race. It's quite a short race, this one. Well, I say short in terms of laps, but in terms of time, it is about the same distance, obviously, because it is slightly shorter.
Last time it was 20 laps. That's the only thing I'm a bit confused about. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, no, I think Nick's got that move done on Aviation now. Unless Aviation can keep it, and I want Aviation to get a podium. Oh, he still is going to get a podium, as long as he doesn't lose to Alex Tong. But I want Aviation to get a podium. He's a cool guy.
I mean, both drivers are very cool. Right, Joshi?
What?
Both drivers are very cool. We don't have any criticism.
No. Wait, which drivers? The Envision drivers or
the Porsche drivers?
Oh, I love the Porsche drivers.
Yeah, Alex Dong is flying as well. Same with Nick, and 3 laps. I think Dennis runs away with the lead, and Nick has to rely on a Dennis spin. So I think personally, Dennis just got to slightly bring it home with Nick being so far behind. Obviously, 5.7 seconds. There's no way Nick gains that much time. Nick is a very fast driver, but not that fast, I believe. Coming through him. So now Dennis is literally flying, but we do see Nick in the distance, and Nick is still in the distance of the driver, but obviously this very long straight, so we were bound to see him. Now coming around this banked turn, so wonderful job from Nick to move up into that position, and I wasn't here, but apparently he did have a slight spin, lost momentum into the set section, and hopefully it doesn't happen again as he does come into the set section, gets a bit slidey through here, now comes out of the turn, goes up to the low line, so it changes different. You can definitely tell the difference between the race and the qualifying. Obviously they opt for the high line in the qualifying, they opt for the low line in race, so it's definitely different. So Nick did catch 1 second on the last lap to Dennis, but it won't be enough if you just catch in 1 second, and I don't think he will come home to take that race win. Nick, let's go on board with Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott is now fighting with Never Heated. Wait, hold on, it's Never Heated. Sorry, Never Heated and Ollie Game Pro fighting right now with Chase Elliott in the distance, so we go on board with Never Heated as Never Heated gets overtaken by Ollie Game Pro coming out of that turn, and Never Heated seems to be struggling a little bit with lag as we now come out of that turn. Ollie Game Pro is now just in front of just in front of Never Heated coming through this final, sorry, not the final bank turn, the first bank turn here at Daytona. This is so it's going to be 4 minutes remaining pretty much of this E-Prix, as Dennis is now coming around just a little ahead, coming around the final banking into the S section. So predictions, Joshi? Do you reckon Aviation Chad will hold on to the
yeah, but at the same time, like it's like what I said before, you can't really count. I mean, Alex is a consistent driver. He's always been consistent. You'll always see him in the top 5, like any race that happens. But I mean, you know, Aviation, he's had pace all weekend, and to be honest with you, he's deserved. I honestly think he should have P2, but he's definitely deserved the podium. But I think as long as he doesn't make mistakes and do what he did Kyoto, where he lost an absolute ton of lap time, he'll keep the podium. There's only 2 laps left anyways, so Alex have to gain a second a lap.
Yeah, and Dennis is now holding on to that lead. Nick didn't even gain any time on that last lap, and Dennis should just cruise it home to win though. I don't see the point on pushing in this penultimate lap. He's pretty much led every single lap of this race, besides when Nick was leading. So it's been an Envision dominance once again, as hopefully Dennis doesn't push too hard and cause an incident. Because at this point, I think you can agree, Joshi, he just needs to cruise it home.
What, Aviation? I'm like, yeah, no, Aviation. Wait, you talk about Dennis or Aviation? I'm tripping, man. Who? What?
Dennis.
Oh, Dennis. Yeah, no, Dennis. Yeah. I mean, there's no way Nick, as fast as Nick is, there's no way he's gonna gain 4 seconds in well, it's essentially a lap now.
Yeah.
So
he just has to. I think the top 4 can just slowly cruise it home. They got about 10 seconds to the drivers behind them. It's been dominant from the Porsche and Envision drivers this time round. And Never Heat has just lost more and more time. I think tyre wear's really come into play here. He pitted early and then gained a few positions and then dropped back immediately by losing tyre wear. So now coming onto that final lap, Dennis still leading the E-Prix. Dennis, just to be confirmation. Now coming into that second turn of the track. Turn 4 into turn 5, we get a nice camera angle of Dennis in doing a wonderful lap round here. Who actually does have the fastest lap? Nick has the fastest lap of 1:45.6. Now coming into this turn, breaking at the 50-meter board, and he comes round, sliding on that turn through there. And Dennis is now on that banking with a comfortable lead from Nick. Is Aviation Chad versus Alex Tong now, pretty much. Alex Tong is slowly gaining, and wonder if he can gain in time for the end of the lap. And Alex Tong is slowly just right behind him, at least on my screen. For myself, I think I have a little bit of vision lag. Now coming to sharp hairpin, and Alex Tong gain through here. Alex Tong does gain a little bit more. Now coming through here, we'll have to cut from here to go on board with Dennis though, as he comes through that final banking of this track. Daytona's quite a long one, 1 minute 45, 1 minute 47 for race pace, and he comes into that final west section. He just doesn't need to make any mistakes. He does make a minor mistake coming into that hairpin, pushing it a little bit too hard, but he is still in the lead of this E-Prix. He has led almost every single lap. Envision have led every single lap, and he comes home to take the Daytona E-Prix win. It's nice to see another Envision driver win for this race, and Nick is going to follow up behind, coming in P2. Now Alex Tong versus Aviation Chad to the line, and Aviation Chad, I think, will just get it done. Yes, he does, just by, wait, it says a second, but they were a lot closer than a second on my screen, at least. Our Super Striker takes P5, wonderful for the FE2 reserve driver, stepping in to an FE1 car, nice and lovely. Never Heated is in P8, Chase Elliott in P9, Pradi will come home to take it home, hopefully, in P10. Yes, he does, he will come across that line to take P10 home, and that is your top P10. Now I'll take you back to the studio here at FE1. What do you make of that race, Joshi?
I got an angry message from Jenik. Anyway, yeah, no, it was a good race. To be honest with you, like you said, happy to see another Vision driver, and especially Aviation getting onto the podium like fully deserved. He's been so fast in these past couple of races that honestly, it's great to see another driver like step on the podium position. So I'm really happy for Aviation. Alex Tong as well is a bit meh, but yeah, no, I think Alex he has pace. Like I said, he has pace like every single race he does. It's just it's more consistent. You'll see him get a P1 every now and again, but like it's more. You'll see him get P3s, sometimes P2s, P4s. You won't see him like get constant P1s, but Alex Tong has pace, and it's why he's so high in the championship.
Yeah, 100%. But I think Aviation Chaz had a quite wonderful race. I think he started P6, I think, as I recall. He gained 3 positions, and I know that doesn't seem quite a lot, but to compete even with these M-Vision drivers is quite hard to do, as we see that top 4. It's just been an M-Vision and Porsche dominance. Super Striker as well had an amazing race stepping into the cars, although I would argue he had a little bit of practice, but the cars are very different. To the FE2 cars, and he did a wonderful job just stepping into that car, coming home to bring it into 5th. That's his 2nd step in for a race this season. He only gets 1 more in a race season, so for an FE1 season as a reserve driver, and he gets 1 more race he can fill in for around in this track. And also Dejenic did something very stupid at the start, also got disqualified from the race, bringing a bit of something new that we haven't seen in a while in FE1. Now we will see if anyone.
Aviation.
We will get Aviation up now.
We will. Hey, Aviation.
Congratulations to you and your team for that P3 position and that podium position. Also, congratulations to your teammate for the podium.
Yeah. So, do you know what the deal was? Okay, well, we need to interview everyone before. He said, now I was talking to Leonard. So we need to interview everyone before, so Aviation can chill there. So we'll speak to Nick, P2 finisher. Hey, Nick.
Hello. Hey.
Obviously, didn't have necessarily the best qualifying yesterday. I mean, obviously, yeah, also had that mistake coming through the S's section. Are you happy with the result today? Do you think you could have got P1?
Yeah, easily, bro. Something showed up in the middle of my screen, randomly in the middle of the race, but. Yeah, of course, congratulations to Xdenis. He had quite a good pace at the end with his tire, so I couldn't catch up. But yeah, good results for Envision, our 2nd one too this season.
Yeah. That's great for Envision. You got anything else, Leo?
What do you think of the 1-2? Obviously, that's quite an amazing result for you and your team. You're just showing absolute dominance through these races at the moment. What is the key to success for the viewers watching?
Key to success.
Driving 9 to 5. Sorry.
Drive, I guess.
To drive. Thank you. Very wonderful words from Nick, and once again, congratulations to him and his team. Can we get Debrera up? Dennis, you want an interview?
I just need to do some aviation. Yeah. To bring.
Dennis, welcome, Dennis. Congratulations on your P1 finish. That's an amazing result for you and your team. Obviously, that's quite good. Did you think you was going to lose to Nick at the start? What was your predictions?
I would say I would have lost the positions because it was pretty slippery for me because of the tires were draining, which ran to pretty bad. The tires were pretty bad at the lap 3, at the beginning of lap 3. It was pretty slippery, so I really thought, Nick is gonna overtake me, or a few other drivers will overtake me, because I was sure that I'm not the fastest guy on the track. But when I saw Nick spinning around at the S's, I was like, okay, he will go into the pits. So I went 1 lap after him, so I did the undercut. The overcut, sorry.
Overcut. Yeah.
The overcut.
Yeah,
So yeah,
a very nice strategic decision from you and your team. And once again, congratulations. I think that's your second race win this season, and pretty sure you'll catch up to Never Heated, because I think you're going for that second spot in the championship, I believe, as well. It's not over for you as well. You could win the championship still, but it is unlikely. No offense. You have to win every race, and Nick can't compete for that race win for some time. But once again, congratulations to you and your team, and thank you for joining us in this interview.
thank you.
Guess who we've got?
Oh yeah. Now inviting Aviation, the one and only, the person that hasn't done an interview before, with voice chat at least, I think.
Well, he's got a voice changer on, but
Well, he's got a voice changer on, but we are now speaking to Aviation. Hello.
Hello.
it's so cool, isn't it?
Congratulations to you and your team, Aviation, and well done on the podium.
Thank you.
That was a hard fought. What are your thoughts on the sorry. What are your thoughts on the finish? Obviously, it was you basically versus Envision Porsche versus Envision, and what do you think of your teammates' position as well?
I barely made it.
What?
What?
I barely made it.
He barely made it. Okay. Wise words from a wise man with a wise voice. Well, we'll stop the interview there. I can barely understand him, but thank you, Aviation, once again. Congratulations to
Love you.
Congratulations to you and your team.
Wow.
We'll now invite his teammate up. Hopefully, he comes, joins us. His teammate.
By the way, his English isn't very good. He only speaks Spanish.
Yeah. Hello, Alex.
Pendejo.
Benhill. Congratulations to you, and what do you think of Aviation's podium?
I think it's a good result for the team, and also a good morale boost for him, because he was on the hunt for that podium for a while. So I think that it's good for both the team and himself.
Yeah, and obviously you're slowly gaining at the end of the lap and the end of the race. Do you think if you had a few more laps, you would have overtaken and got that podium?
Maybe. I don't know. He was making a lot of mistakes on the last laps, but I think that it was because he was getting the pressure. But I think maybe if there were more laps, he wouldn't have made those mistakes.
Once again, congratulations to you, and your team had an amazing result. Thank you for joining us in this interview. I think we're done with interviews.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, okay, so that is your FE1 race today. Make sure to join us tomorrow for your FE2 race here out at Daytona as well. So same track, and we saw an exciting FE2 race earlier. Exciting FE1 race. This race does not disappoint, to say the least, and this is actually one of the most active and less spins of a race I think we've had in a while. So that is us. That is all from us, and have a good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Have a good day, at least, to say that.
And enjoy the F1 race.
Oh, and enjoy the F1
Qualifying. Not race, qualifying.
Thank you all, and yeah, once again.